So I have another question, Cathy, about sunscreen because I moved here about 5 years ago and everyone said you have to wear sunscreen when you're here. The sun is intense, but I look at all the chemicals that are in sunscreens. Natural sunscreen don't cover. So what do you recommend as someone who lives in Florida to another person who lives in Florida and across the country, because your moisture and on over the counter other products, there's sunscreen and everything. And what do you recommend?
Okay, so for this is really one of my things that I get kind of excited about. So I'm going to try to control myself because I'm so passionate about not using chemicals in our environment and on our body. I don't want to kill the environment. I don't want to kill our body. So I'm a huge advocate of not wearing sunscreen, not using SPF. Now, let me qualify that because obviously, if you're fair and you go out in the middle of the day, in 20 minutes in Florida, you're going to burn. And burning is the last thing we want to happen. So for starters I don't understand why people put SPF in a day cream. Why put SPF in a day cream that you put on at 7 o'clock in the morning and you don't go out into the sun until 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, and as if that SPF is actually going to do anything as a sunscreen when we're told if you're using an SPF 15, put it on again within an hour or 2 hours. So all you're doing is adding chemicals to your skincare and putting them on your body for even no reason at all, except to damage your skin even further. So your morning routine should not include an SPF. That is not going to serve you in the realm of how an SPF is supposed to work. So let's talk about in the sun. Like you said, when you move to Florida, everyone's like, you need to wear sunscreen. These are my components. First is that in a normal day, if you don't work outside, if you're not, someone who works outside for a living, then essentially what you're doing is you're walking to work or walking from your car to your work or walking your dog or things like that. This is a very short period of time. If you want to put a hat on to protect the sun directly on your face, that would be advisable. But for the most part, sun is actually good for us. It's good for our skin. It's good for our vitamin D. It's good for, creating the fat that our brain needs to actually function. So a lot of people talk about cholesterol, and we won't get into that aspect of it, but the sun stimulates the vitamin D that stimulates the cholesterol that our brain uses to think and function and repair. So I am very much an advocate of, if you are going to go out and it's the weekend and you want to go out and play and you want to go out and play at the beach, or where we live, we go to the beach, or you're going out, to have fun with other people, use the UV index to plan your day out. So in the morning is when I walk my dog. I go out at 7:30 in the morning. I can walk him for an hour and a half and be perfectly fine, and even get a little bit of color, but I'm not even close to it being in a time where I'm going to burn. So and then that same thing with the evening. My husband likes to go for walks on the beach in the evening. So after 3:30, 4 o'clock, then going for a walk on the beach. If you want, wear a hat to protect from the sun that's setting or going down, depending on the time of day or the time of year. But this is a really good time to go out and play. When we take our grandkids out, we take them out first thing in the morning. They're up early. We go watch the sunrise. We play on the beach, and then we come home. So there's lots of good playtime on both ends of the day. The other is that I wear clothes. If I'm going out in the middle of the day, instead of wearing a teeny bikini, which I think I'm probably past the age of wearing a teeny bikini anyway, I actually prefer clothes. I like to wear, even if I am wearing a bathing suit or a tank top, I'm still wearing a long sleeve shirt that's really lightweight. It'll still let the sun penetrate a little bit, so pay attention. But that's what I like to do to protect my, my skin is hat, shirt, skirt. And if I am really going out to canoe or where I'm really going to be exposed heavy to the sun, then I'm going to wear something more like a clothing that is designed to protect you from the sun. In other words, if it's designed to protect you from the sun, it's also designed to ventilate. So they have ventilations, you know, areas under the arm, along the side, through the back. You know, if you're looking at some of the old movies in the Sahara Desert, they're not wearing tank tops. They're actually wearing, you know, long robes, their heads covered, their faces covered. They're wearing full length, but they're nice and loose to allow for air to circulate through. So super important first step is cover up, wear clothes. The second is planning your day. Plan your day so you can avoid that high intensity UV index. And then the third, make sure you're wearing a hat, because a big brimmed hat is really helpful for, you know, for avoiding the sun. I always have one handy in a couple of different places. And then let's see, the other, yeah, planning your day. I'm kind of going through some ideas. Oh, and also just make sure that you don't get burnt in the first place, because if you get burnt in the first place, you're already doing damage. A lot of times what happens is people come to Florida, you'll hear this, they come to Florida, they get burnt, and the second day they wear clothes. Well, they think that they're hot because they're wearing clothes. They're not hot because they're wearing, you know, long sleeve clothes. They're hot because they burnt. Your skin is so hot and it's trying to release so much heat that no matter what, you're going to feel the heat of your skin versus, you know, the idea that if you had worn clothes on the first day, then you probably would have been having a whole lot more fun on the second day. And then if you do wear sunscreen, let's go ahead and talk about that. If you do wear sunscreen and you do want to make sure that if you're out in the middle of the day, you're a super sensitive person, and you want to avoid the sunscreens that are more toxic, there are natural sunscreens. The key thing about a natural sunscreen that you want to avoid is that I should say that you should look for is one with minerals. The key thing about using a natural sunscreen is looking for one that tends to use natural minerals as well as natural oils. I have not had my day cream tested for SPF. Usually I'm sure it would test very, very low because it requires chemicals to test high and go up into the 15s and the 30s. But for me, I don't have super sensitive skin. If I am going out at the high point of the sun for an hour, I actually use my day cream again at that time before I go out, because the Hawaiian oils, the coconut oil, actually were used back in the day in Hawaii to protect the skin from all of the intense sun. So it does have that natural protection. It is hugely beneficial and helpful for me. I can use it without getting burnt, even in the middle of the day, but that's going to depend on your skin type as well. I'm fairly, I'm a little bit darker, so I can use something light.
And I did notice, I was looking, don't you even have aloe vera in one of your products too? And that actually helps to hydrate your skin. And if you are a little sun-kissed, it's known for its soothing, healing abilities. So you could even put it on after you get a little sun on your face.
Right. So that is true. The day cream has aloe vera in it, so that if you're using that protective day cream, the aloe vera, what it does is it not only helps to hydrate, it helps to hold the hydration in, which is an important factor, is that it holds your hydration in. This serum is fantastic for burns because it's all intense repair. If you do get in the sun and you do miss an area, or your skin gets exposed to the sun too much, that serum's got beautiful repair. You put that serum on first, the day cream on top of it, and it soothes it way, way faster.
Well, thank you very much, Cathy. I feel like I've learned a lot just from talking to you. I hope other customers get the same experience of getting a personal consultation with you.
Well, that would be great. I look forward to that. And what I really look forward to, Cheryl, is your 30 days. I'd like to kind of revisit with you after that 30 days. And
I was just going to suggest maybe we can do another video in 30 days, and maybe I'll do some before and after shots, and we'll compare notes.
Yes, you have to do before and after shots. Have someone take a profile of, of you. The important part about, taking those before photos is to not smile. I know that sounds funny, but we're not smiling for the camera when we're doing the before, so that we can really see what's going on with your face. Okay?
Well, thank you very much, Cathy.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.